Hello, historical people, Order of the Blade people. I hope you've had a fantastic Christmas holiday season. I hope you have a fantastic new year when that comes around. And basically today, I just want to talk about solo training. Obviously, we've all broken up for the year, so there's not been any training on for the last week or two. What can I do at home to help me improve my skills ready for next time I go sparring? Okay, now this one's pretty thingy for me. I've not been able to get to regular sessions anymore for a while, hence why I started doing all these bloody silly videos. So what can you do when you're on your own, right? And why? What should your focuses be? Okay, obviously there's little games and things you could possibly do to improve your reaction speed and all that shit, but realistically you're not going to learn all of that until you get into sparring, until you get back into the game. Okay, so you know, it's a real issue for a lot of people. Is what it is. We've just got to do the best we can until we can get back to that challenging environment where we have an unwilling opponent stopping us from doing what we're trying to do. Okay, so what can we practice on our own? Quite simply, practice your attacks, practice your defenses, practice your little combos that you've got worked out in your head. Oh, that's boring though. I could have figured that out myself. Okay, well, great. Why aren't you doing it? Okay, like, why can't you chain things together? There's got to be something that you're struggling with. Okay, whenever you go sparring, you think, okay, I'm always getting tagged on the lower leg or something like that. So what do I need to be doing? Maybe after an attack, I should focus on slipping that leg back. It could be something as simple as that. Only you will really know what you're deficient in. Okay, and there's got to be a level of honesty with yourself. Okay, it's like, personally, I like to think that I'm fighting on the outside and I'm keeping my distance really well, but quite often I'm just sat in the pocket, staying there too much. Okay, so a lot of my goals revolve around striking, getting out of distance, maintaining that distance, things like that. So particular drills, for instance, you can do your 1, 2, 3, 4 strikes, pattern of 4, whatever you want to call it. You could do your Mayor's Square stuff if you're into that kind of thing. This is where reading and looking into some of the historical sources is actually really useful, because they do offer proper drills, proper things like that. Some don't, most do. So it's worth looking into them and seeing if you can just work out what the hell they're on about. We'll go on YouTube and see what other drills other people have put out there. Okay, but personally, what I'd say is take your favorite attacks, maybe your least favorite attacks, and drill them into oblivion. So get the repetitions of a cron parry into just a return strike. Okay, just drill that, bang, bang. Tools. I've got a punch bag, if you can see that off the side of the camera there, so I can cron and then hit that. Gives at least the feedback of where I might stay positioned should that attack land. And equally, I should drill without opposition to see where that lands and if I can control it should it pass. Okay, so a mixture of flowing, actual just attack patterns into thin air is great. If you've got an object that you can hit, even better. Quickly show you I don't want to call it a pell because it's a bit of a disgrace to all pells, but it's a stick in a traffic cone with another stick attached to it. Okay, this stick is just to give me a little bit of opposition and help me work practicing like binding mechanics and stuff. But I can practice my attacks on this guy. He moves around just a little bit more and whatever, you know, it's cheap to make. Let me pick up a different weapon so that I'm not making you all throw up in your mouth. But with the saber, a really important one for this is literally practicing your guards and your attacks and getting a really nice flush transition there. Got the what they call it, the iron triangle thing that the false edge guy talks about all the time, something like that. Practicing your common patterns, your common moves. And why should you practice them over and over and over and over again? Simply to get your 10,000 hours in. You want to get good at that return, so practice that return. It's as simple as that. Obviously, when you get back into sparring, you get back into, having friends or whatever, then this is where your review stage of this little process comes in. Okay, so you've done the practice. Now you need to review it, and you do that by putting yourself under pressure. So find an opponent, especially, I always advise people, go fight the people that are better than you in the club. Don't just sit there with your mate who's about the same level as you, that you've worked out everything on him and he's worked out everything on you, him or her or them or whatever. Go find somebody that maybe even scares you a little bit. Obviously, like, make sure they're safe to spar with, but practice sparring against them. Put yourself under the pressure and see if what you've been drilling works under that pressure, okay? I always recommend people film their fights where they can. Obviously, it's more important to train as much as you can rather than sit there pissing about with the camera. But recording your fights, recording your sparring sessions is invaluable because you get to see what actually happened, or see what happened from at least a third party perspective, okay? Because you might have thought that your lunge and recover was amazing, but actually you were lunging and staying there and exchanging a few blows in your full lunge, and you got tagged 100 times because of it, or something like that. So being able to review what you've done, invaluable. Then you need to kind of tell yourself, okay, what could I do to improve that? Okay. And then we go back to your drilling. So if it was the lunging and recovering that was throwing you off, you practice your lunging and recovering. Simple as. And that now becomes part of your sort of regular daily training, really. And I do recommend kind of narrowing down on things. If you are a saboteur, whatever you want to call it, your lunge and recover is going to be invaluable, okay? Your outside guard, inside guard, and fucking prime guard are going to be invaluable. And transitioning between any of them, is worth practicing 100 million thousand times, okay? So, practice something, flail in the garden, just move the weapon around if you're not sure. If you're looking for ideas, you got your pattern of 4 basic strikes, and there's nothing wrong with just getting good at the basics, okay? As fancy or as beautiful as you could make your techniques look doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be more effective than just really well placed basics, okay? Fundamentals. Unfortunately, we see with modern fencing, it's the fundamentals and the basics that have won. So, take from that what you want. Yeah, hopefully that motivates one of you to go start flailing sticks around in the garden, or in my case, the garage. So, yeah, hopefully there's a bit of useful info in there. Yeah, so drill, review what the hell you're doing in sparring, or video it, and then make a new plan and do it all again. Thank you. If you've stuck around this long, please obviously like and or subscribe. All that good stuff. Here's some more shite from me, and I'm going to see you in a bit. Thank you.